a behind the scenes thing. Like if you want to see us behind the scenes talking to real people about their thing and how to use this, tune in.
Yep, which is exactly what these are. So, okay, welcome everybody. We are doing another one of our daily live trainings, which are part of the pop-up group that PBK hosts twice a year in April and September. And you will see as we're going through the call today and all of the other Kajabi live trainings that we're taking real people, as opposed to the fake people, real people's questions, and we're walking through them. So that's what you're watching if you are catching the replay. And today we are going to, Tracy had asked a question and she wants to set up her sales funnel, which you guys will quickly see that we call it North Pole to New York City. The reason being, no matter what business you're in, no matter what you sell, we all have the same pieces. So North Pole is the metaphor for cold traffic or our read magnets. So this could be a blog, a podcast, can even be a Facebook ad. It is someone's really first interaction with you. They don't know who you are. You don't have their name and email. So that is North Pole. At the opposite end of the spectrum is your New York City. This, for most people, is your higher priced offering or your core offer. This is where you want people to purchase from you. And the idea being, if you can picture the North Pole and New York City geographically, we want people to get from not knowing us to buying from us as quickly as humanly possible, which is our sales funnel. So unlike if I said, oh, you're in the North Pole, yep, go down to California, hop on over to Texas, go up through the Dakotas, back down to Florida, over here. Oh, by the time you finally get here, it's years later. And more than likely, somebody was selling you something down in Texas and you bought from them. So in between getting them from our North Pole to our New York City, we need to get their name and email, which is our opt-in. So that's our lead magnet. And for many businesses, it makes sense to have an intro offer. This is typically lower priced, a lower commitment point. You may often hear it referred to as a tripwire or a lily pad, is what I tend to call it, intro or lily pad, meaning somebody opts in, they can't make the big old jump over to their visa very easily. We would lose them. So instead, we have opt-in to an intro, lily pad, take a little breather, and then they can continue going over here to New York City. Now, as we're going to go through this with Tracy, what's really important is that picture a runway, okay? There is a reason that there is an air traffic controller that is paid a salary to keep multiple airplanes off the same runway. Because what happens if two planes are on the runway at the same time? Nightly news. There is a catastrophe. It is a disaster and it is never good. Never, ever good. So when you are trying to think about, okay, what is my sales funnel? You're going to hear us talking through. And as we do, things are going to move from one line to the other as Tracy and I are trying to figure out what is her North Pole to New York City. Now, one flight plan at a time is what you get up and going until you're meeting your metrics, which you'll also hear me talking about that. And that, for me, a basement level before you get to build a second runway and have a second plane is $2,000 a month for 3 months in a row. That is your base. Like, you can obviously do far above that, but nothing below it, okay? Because we have to know that this path is converting. And $2,000 for 3 months in a row, that says, yes, what you're doing is working, and then we can move forward. So you're going to hear me going through, that's what Tracy and I are going to do right now. So first off is her North Pole to New York City, which we drew that part. Now we're going to she's going to brain dump on me. All right. Tracy, lay it on me.
So did you just want me to go from the, well, I pretty much put everything in the comments. So
perfect.
We do services for people.
Mm-hmm.
I have like a team of 3. So we do tech and we do admin and we do graphics and such.
Mm-hmm.
We even do websites and stuff. We also do have courses for do-it-yourself people that want to do it yourself. All of those things as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also work with some people all the way through, from the beginning to the end, in like their funnel, their, what we're doing right here, their opt-in, their lead magnet, all the way through creating all that, creating their content plan. We're more focused toward the content and the social media side, but we do the other stuff as well, but not for everyone. Like that's not something that and right now we have referral only. So I haven't had any Facebook ads or a podcast or a blog or any of those things.
That makes total sense to me.
So then my question is what direction do I start it out as? Do I have us be as a agency, or do I start the DIY and put them into, well, we can do it for you type deal?
Okay, so what you've got your stuff, and you have an idea of, okay, here's what I've got. Which one am I going to get set up and going in Kajabi first? And this means you're still likely doing all the things you're currently doing. So what I tell people is really think about, and I layer it in with whenever people are starting to build, what is the ideal life that I want if all of this works out perfectly? How many hours a day am I working? How much of a staff do I have? Like, what is it that I'm doing, so that as I'm making decisions, if I say, hey, I want to work 2 hours a week, I want to check in once a week on my laptop. Okay, well, then we're probably not going to offer a lot of high-end, high-touch services long-term. You might be like, you're going to phase it out. If the person's like, no, I would love to work 4 or 5 hours a day with 1 or 2 people and, having my online courses, because that, can be a different kind of a machine that runs. That's where you look at it and say, okay, where is my next 20,000 coming from? In my ideal plan, like, this is what I want, and I want to have this because it will align with my lifestyle. And I'll use myself as an example. I came from high-end corporate business staffs, like all of that. I did that in the first half of my life. I no longer want to do that. I want to have my stuff really minimal skeleton help here and there, where they're fully capable, they're total thinkers, they can do stuff, so that I can be with my family at our beach house. Like that. So I don't choose to create things that is me building up a staff. I did that the first half of my life.
Right.
I make very different decisions than people that want, like that in their ideal world, that is what they want to absolutely have. Because then you're setting up, okay, these people will do this and these will do this, and this is what we're offering. Very different. So if I look at it and I say, okay, next 20,000, yeah.
So the other thing, because I didn't say it,
that's okay,
is I love your how you set up your membership.
Yes.
So, and the reason I have the people, I guess, is because it's my daughter and my girlfriend. So they work with me. So they also, it's not so much that I want employees.
Yeah.
Because we're all freelancers.
Yeah.
So I kind of oversee them.
Got it.
So I don't have to always be every day. So I like that. And so I didn't know how can I put the membership in with that? Is it with the do-it-yourself courses, or is it the membership of well, yeah, basically teaching them the stuff that we do.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I don't see any other way to do it.
Yep. Nope. And the beautiful thing is you get to choose exactly how you want to set it up. So if I say, okay, the next 20,000 that you make, not, okay, this is how I could make it currently, unless you want my next 20,000, we're doing it currently and it still exists in my ideal, like everything worked exactly the way that I want it, so that I'm building things that I want to continue. I can keep doing stuff over here until when or if I need to phase it out, but I don't build new support structures for something I never plan on keeping. So
okay,
I'm a great example. I have lived through all of these things a few times. I used to file trademark applications for people. The environment at the USPTO changed drastically about 3 years ago. What used to be fairly easy to do was becoming more and more expensive. And I knew if I could get ahead of it and be talking to the web designers and the creative ideas, people at the beginning, we could talk people out of the trademark that they wanted or get them a better one that actually could register. So I said, I am not selling this anymore. No way, Jose, shutting this pipeline down. Now it still had to run because trademarks are about 2 years from start to finish. So I had people that were already in there, right. But I knew I was done with that. I did not want to file the applications. I didn't want to go back and forth with USPTO examining attorneys anymore. I didn't like it. Like, it just wasn't enjoyable. So I said, okay, don't want this over here on the ideal day. Let's see, Tamsin, do you want to file a trademark application even from the office in the beach house? Nope, sure don't. Guess what? We don't build a structure to keep this growing and supporting, because then it just gets like you're building something that you don't really want. So we're not building systems for stuff that we don't want to be over here selling. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yes, and actually, because it's what time it is in our world currently, I have the opportunity to, like, I don't have that many people right now, in other words. So the next thing I come out with can be the thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So in your ideal, everything worked perfectly the way it was supposed to. Where does the next $20,000 come from?
Comes from, I can't combine them. Like,
you just tell me. I'm really good at filtering. You just talk. I will sort it out.
I would like to create the membership, but I would like to still be doing services because I love the high touch that we give clients.
Yep. I totally get that.
That's why I like your membership model, because you are that's the part that I love about the whole, I mean, besides the tech and stuff, like I could do that all day and not eat, but it's the getting to know the people in their business and helping them, to being the support. That's what we love to do, or that I do. I mean, my daughter and my friend just do what I say, I guess.
Usually how it goes when you're the person in charge.
They just say, tell me what you want me to do. And I say, okay.
Okay. So in the high touch realm, what is it that you are doing? Give me, like, because we're going to start packaging this. I get this because I had elements of this in myself, but I've worked with hundreds of people that have this. I can do everything. You let me know what you want.
Doesn't work out.
No way. You position yourself as a reactionary. I'm reacting to what you give me. You will solidify your professionalism and your expertise and your guru-ness when you say, this is what I do. I do this. Now, that doesn't mean that every once in a while, someone's not going to have a random, hey, this needs to go with it. But it becomes rarer and rarer because
Right.
you're saying, I'm going to do the heavy lifting and put together the package. You don't have to come up with everything that you need. You just need to talk to me and I'll tell you, that is package A right here. This is what we do. You're establishing and it's not even something I think that people recognize, but I know what I'm doing. I've done this before. This is what you need. And here's how we'll take care of you. I'll just do whatever you want, however you need it, da 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 da.
Right.
We think that is being helpful. It is not. It is reactionary, and it makes it impossible to create efficient systems and structure to support the business because you're constantly rebuilding.
Yep. Okay.
Attorneys are notorious for this.
Well, and that's pretty much what we were doing before because we got referrals.
Right.
And so we would just be like, okay, we can do all those things. So let's just do all the things, right? And that gets to be crazy sometimes, especially when you have a bunch of different clients and you're doing like different things or not even similar things.
I know.
So I've tried to create a system where it's kind of like a 30, 60, 90 type setup for social media, promoting your products, making sure all of your systems are set up to point to what you want, kind of like what you're showing here, and then setting them up for success, helping them with their content creation, helping them with their profiles, the graphics, the text, setting up like, your email to your, kind of like you do for Kajabi, but I've probably used 10 other email things where you connect their funnels to their email and that kind of thing. And it's just, that's the system that I'm trying to stay in.
And you enjoy that?
Yes.
Okay.
Right now.
If we enjoy it, it gets to stay. If we don't enjoy it, it gets eliminated.
I don't enjoy working with a bunch of different tools.
Yeah. Well, and that's another piece right on here is we're like figuring out where the money's coming from. Only pick your favorites. Only pick your favorites. And I will tell you, I was scared to death as someone who, so many things evolved exactly the way it was supposed to. When I realized that you were basically crazy if you didn't use Kajabi, like as a business owner, you are crazy. I slashed my expenses by 87%. Like, right. How can anyone say, well, I really would prefer to use this? Huh? You're spending 4 times the amount of time and it's costing you more money. If you had a board of directors, they would make you use Kajabi.
Right.
I remember telling Chris, and this was very, very shortly after I said I was going to quit doing trademarks, which trademarks at that point were about $5,000 a pop. So I was shutting down a very significant service, to say the least. And I said, I'm not even doing legal for people that don't own Kajabi anymore. I knew that the person that would use Kajabi is the person I wanted to work with. I knew they weren't going to try and skirt every corner. I knew they weren't going to cobble together like solutions. And I knew I loved it. Like Kenny built my brain. He absolutely built my brain. So you pick the tools you like. And if somebody comes in and says, oh, but I'd like to use this, you say, well, one, if you can talk them into moving. I have talked plenty of people into moving from WordPress to Kajabi. I have a car from Kajabi in my garage to prove it. Like I said, I would get you over here because I am not you are crazy to keep touching this stuff over here. In my opinion, that is totally my opinion.
Right.
Pick your favorite tools. And if someone doesn't use those tools and isn't willing to move, you send them to the person that's going to do it. You don't take them on because it is going to jeopardize what you want more of.
Right.
I only want people that use this tool, this tool, this tool. Perfect. If you don't fit in that box, I'm not learning the language. I'm not staying on top of that platform. I mean, it's impossible. It's why every profession has specialties. You have your general practitioners and you have your specialists. If I'm going through something, I want the person who only spends all of his or her time working on that little thing, whatever it might be.
Right.
So,
right.
You pick your favorites.
Right. And that's the thing with the high touch, because we're actually learning all the platforms and like what's the best practices and to get your organic reach the best. Right. And when you publish something, how long is it good? How long is it shelf life? What do you want to do with it? Those kind of things. So that's kind of energy that's spent. And then from there, a lot of them, either they have a team and they want us to train them, or they want to know how to do it, or maybe they just want us to keep doing it, whatever. So from there, then that's how I see the do-it-yourself membership thing coming in, to where I can teach the people that want to know, or maybe they want to know from the beginning and they don't want us to do it at all. I don't know, whichever. Yeah, you got it.
Yep. So in your high touch, you're only working with people that use your tools. Near the end, you've got to have a list and you've got to stick to it. You'll become very wealthy if you stick to it. You will be struggling because every day we wake up, there's a new tool.
There is. There's so many tools.
I had somebody email me. I did so many guest speaking things. And so I can always tell, like, when people get to a certain point of a course that I'm in, that's somebody else's course, like I get a flood of questions on something I did literally 5 or 6 years ago. Somebody right now must be in the middle of their course where I did one on Canva, because I ended up with 6 messages about Canva in my inbox. I'm like, oh, I wonder whose course they're in right now, because getting a lot of questions, and they want to know all this stuff about Canva. Well, I haven't read Canva's terms in the last year or two. Haven't.
Right.
So I'm not about to go dive in and read the Canva terms. Yes, you saw me. Yes, I recommend using this. However, they've updated their terms.
Yep.
Go read their terms. And if you aren't sure, go ask Canva.
Right.
Go talk to Canva. But I see it, they're always hopping from tool to tool.
Yep. And see, we use Canva.
Yep.
And we do use Divi in the WordPress, but I don't know if we're going to keep doing that because of what you've been saying, but we'll see.
Yeah. Right. And it's knowing how much time do I want to keep learning stuff.
Right.
And is there something better than Canva? There might be. Is there something better than Trello? There could be. I'm not wasting my time to move it and learn it.
Right. So you have to move your whole thing over there,
right,
which you've already been, set up. Like we already have things set up with Trello and, So.
Yeah, there comes a point, people are like, oh, but it's $2 cheaper. Okay. Okay, let's do a cost analysis again, folks. $2, let's say it's gonna cost me $2,500 in time, effort, labor to move. $2,500 divided by the $2 a month, is that 5,000 months before I recoup the $2 a month I'm saving?
Right. That's
no,
not worth it.
It is not worth it. No. So if I know I have tools that I love, and I know I'm building my systems around this high-end service right here, now it's easy for me to transfer it to a DIY access point. So your systems that you're using for your high touch clients, I also call those the limousine. So PBK is like this. I want people that want to go through driver's ed. I want people that want to learn how to drive their own vehicle and get them from point A to point B. But when we do driver's ed, when we're learning, there's someone in the car next to us teaching us how to drive. I love being driver's ed. There are times with some clients, they need an Uber ride. They are desperate. They don't have time to spend 8 or 9 weeks in driver's ed. I have got to get here by tomorrow morning. No problem. I will be your Uber driver. I will get you from point A to point B. Done. Then you have what I call the limousine clients. They don't want to drive. They don't want to know how you're getting them there. They just want to sit in the back, put up the shade, and arrive at their destination. Those are our high touch people.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Here's our limousine services, but you're still the same driver as an Uber and as a driver's ed level. Like you are the same. Your system is the same. It's just how much work. So when I know how to be a limousine driver, then I take my limousine driver skills from here and I package them up for the driver's ed and the Uber people as part of a membership. It could also be a standalone course. So here you guys do, tech, graphic. So these are like things that could be in your membership. So, okay, I need to know I need to grow Instagram. What is the tool I use for Instagram? You guys would know that. So that, I'm gonna not put it on a line, I'm gonna put it down here. Whatever it is that makes you a good limousine driver, when you turn it into content and access for teaching someone else how to be drive their own car, or even catch an Uber ride every so often, that content goes in here.
Okay.
And you're selling access to it. The nice thing about this, in terms of a sustainable business model, I just think almost everything in my world is a subscription model. My electric bill is a subscription model. It's based on access to my electricity that I pay for monthly.
Right.
My water is a subscription model. My grocery delivery is a subscription model. Cable, subscription model. Cell phone, subscription model. People go, those aren't, the price changes. Yes, but it is charged recurring. And the minute I stop paying for it, I stop getting the service. So it's something that people are acutely aware of, especially when you start talking in things they're already paying for month after month after month.
Okay.
And you don't have to keep marketing and selling it. Like, hey, here's a widget on a shelf. I need to market it, sell it, you buy it. Market, sell it, buy it. Market, sell it, buy it. That depends, for me, what I see many people, we don't mind working hard, but we really want to work smart, and we don't want to be behind the laptop 87 hours a day. No. So recurring membership aligns with those goals. I can now provide what it is I want to provide. It can scale. I can do what I need to do without having to market, sell it, rinse and repeat the same widget over and over again. So in a membership, you've got your content, you have access to it, so similar like to a gym, and you have access to content. Sorry, that's bad use of a pronoun there. Content, you have access to people. Sometimes you have access to you. Sometimes, totally depends on what it is you're creating. You have full control over that, as much or as little as you want. This membership, then, for people that need an Uber ride or want to become a limousine client, they move right into it. Their tool doesn't have to change. What they're familiar with doesn't have to change. Most importantly, your systems don't have to change. All of it fits very nicely. It's why a few years ago, I made huge decisions. I'm only talking and working with people that use Kajabi. Kajabi was brand spanking new. My husband said, "Are you sure you want to limit yourself?" I said, "Honey, it's not limiting. It's completely expanding, because I'm a better lawyer if I know exactly how the system they're using works, because I know exactly where privacy policy goes. I know exactly where terms go. I know exactly how to hook it up on the offer checkout page. Like, I'm better if I shrink." Then I made the decision, you're not in PBK, I'm not working with you. Again, completely terrifying. Chris is again, are you sure? I said, honey, it's not shrinking, it's expanding. I am better at what I can be a better limo driver when everything they've done came from my driver's ed and my pieces. They're not learning anything new. They're not rebuilding trello boards. They're not on board. Like everything that I do as a limousine person,
it's still going to be in the next step.
It's in the next step. And it makes everybody very, very happy because, you know, if someone's like, oh, and I tell them all the time, they're like, well, I don't know if I would like, I just want to hire you and pay you thousands of dollars. Great. You need to join PBK. Well, I don't know if I want that monthly membership thing. Okay, really? You want to pay me thousands and thousands of dollars. And currently it's $59. I will not work with you. It's like, you need to, because you're not going to pay me for an hour's worth of my time when you could go watch a 10-minute video and tell me your decision.
Right.
I am being protective of your time and your money so that you get the most bang for your buck. Guess what? That makes you a very in-demand limo driver because they trust you. They trust that you care honestly more about how they spend their money and their time than sometimes they do at times.
Right. So I just want to buy everything.
Right. And you're like, awesome. I will sell you everything when you need it. You mean you won't sell it to me now? No, I won't sell it to you now because you're not ready.
Right.
Oh, here we go. We got Mighty Networks going. Everybody's logging in. I'm so excited.
That's so cool.
Oh, it is cool. Does that make sense?
Yes. I'm still well, I guess we're going to go over that when we get into the thing, but I'm kind of confused about like what kind of membership am I going to have? Like,
what do you want?
Because I have all the different categories. Like there's so many categories that we're doing.
So just for clarification,
I have 26 products in my own library.
Oh, that's right. You have a lot too also.
Yeah.
Different topics.
Yeah. What do you want?
Because we used to call it social media, but because that's kind of but we also do the tech and we also do the admin and we also do, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So can I ask a question before you move on from there?
Yeah.
Just for clarification. So I think what I'm hearing you say is that in Tracy's scenario and yours, you have a membership, and in that membership where they're paying you money every month and they're getting all those things that you listed for a particular price. So if we would have, let's say we're trying to figure it out as much as possible on our own, yet we just feel like we really need a little bit of help with you one-on-one, then is that one-on-one jump that we're going to make, even though we have all the same material in our membership, that would be available to us if we went for your high touch item, right? Like your high touch would be the one-on-one. Is that what I'm understanding, Tamsin?
Are you asking me directly?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So for me, and I'll put mine right up here on this line. So PBK is right here. And what I know from experience is that you spend about a month in PBK, your questions go away. So people want to, I want to do a one-on-one. I want to work with you because you feel overwhelmed or like, oh my gosh, I don't know what's going on. So I will typically have it's fairly firm. I mean, I'm the boss, so I can mush it if I need to, for sure. But I typically say, after your first month in PBK, then I'll let you book if you still want to book. So yes, over on my high touch, my New York City, I do have one-on-ones that are a la carte. Blitz Build, which is when it's a bigger project.
Right.
Blitz Build is a big project. We get it done in 24 hours because I don't believe in like these deadlines that just go on and on and on and on and on. I can't stand them myself. So we plan for it. It's a very specific thing. We build it, we get it done. So yes, inside my membership, then those are the people that have access to my one-on-one calendar. They can book whenever they want, but I try to be really clear that I'm happy. I'm thrilled. My kids would love for you to book, appointments with me one-on-one. But if you just wait a few weeks,
you'll get it.
You might not need to have spent, right now they're $450 for 60 minutes.
Right.
So $59, wait a few weeks and let me talk to you in the group. Let me ask your questions for what you're already paying for. And if you still need me, I'm not going anywhere. So it makes it nice when you have a membership or a course that sits in front of your high touch offerings, because, and again, it depends on what kind of business you want to run. What you guys hear me talking about is definitely biased or influenced by the kind of business I wanted to run. I enjoy doing business with people that are like, hey, let me show you how to get the maximum for what you've already purchased from me before I try to sell you something else.
Right.
So
that's
what I've done.
I understood that part, but my specific question is, are you using your one-on-one New York City offer as like another service, right? In other words, you're not, in our scenarios, our ultimate goal is to get somebody to New York City.
Mm-hmm.
But what you're saying in your scenario is that you can get them into the PBK. Most of the answers are going to be handled there. But from the get-go, are you trying to get people to go to New York City to do one-on-ones and to do the blitz build, or not really? That, you're kind of having it out here waiting in the wings. That's not maybe your...
No, they get there. There are some people that buy a blitz build right off the bat. They join PBK and they never watch a video, and they end up buying 2 or 3 blitz builds to do the projects. Those are more limousine people. So yeah, I want people, they can pick whatever they want to pick. I won't work with them unless they're in PBK. So my intro is a requirement.
Okay. So, but I mean, obviously, you make more money if you had more money or more people in your New York City, but where you're making the bulk of your income is through the membership in your scenario, correct?
No, mine is only one flight plan. I have many, many, many income streams that are over and above my New York City.
Right, but I mean, in this, if we're just on this one particular runway, because I know you have lots of runways.
Yep.
But for us newbies that we're still on our one runway.
You can't do a bunch of runways right yet.
Yeah, we're not Hampton Court. We're not O'Hare yet.
No, you're not O'Hare yet. No.
We are.
I mean, we try to be, and then it gets out of control.
Yeah, we are one country runway.
No, you can also do this. So here, okay, these are 2 different runways with the same product. You can have people that come in from your membership, and then all roads lead to high touch in some way, shape, or form. You can also have your high touch as, this is where I want to work with people. After they've worked with me, now here is ongoing maintenance. Here's ongoing support. So you can have a higher high touch product in the intro spot, knowing that where I want you to land is New York City. That is more, it doesn't matter where you put it. Coach Jenny has this. She has, and it's not even, I'd say it's her medium touch. Her course is $300 currently. It lives here, and her membership is $25 a month. But you can't go and get this without going here. So it's knowing, where do people go? Now, if you said, you know what, I don't care. Just a second, we got to move something. Just a second. That's why you'll always hear me asking, probably too many times.
So you could have London.
Oh, absolutely.
But does London necessarily have to be more money?
No, it has to do with the process that someone goes through. You know, we are not selling Nike sneakers. I can go in and buy a widget. I can go in and buy a this and buy a that. Nike doesn't care if I buy the t-shirt, the sneakers, the baseball bat, the glove. They don't care what freaking order I buy it in. I am not selling that. I do care because I'm trying to leverage email marketing. I'm trying to leverage digital sales funnels to build what Kajabi does so incredibly well. It has to be done in order. The computer can't say, it's like going into a store and buying tennis shoes and hair ties and this and that. Like, I don't care what order you put it in. Something like that works well on Shopify. They're just going and they're throwing whatever they want to in a cart.
Right.
What we're typically working with when we're building businesses in Kajabi, we want exponential ability to scale. We want the freedom and the flexibility with, I'm using email marketing. I'm using intentional automations. I am methodically moving people through. They don't know it because I've done it so well on the front end until we forget to hook up a button and yep, it happens. We fix it. Life goes on. Whoops-a-daisy. Connected the wrong link there. But that's why it's different and why it's so, if I look at it as a runway, then I know this plane has to go from membership access to high touch on that runway.
Okay.
You say, you know what? I want high touch and membership, but I want to reverse the order. No problem. High touch goes to membership. An airplane speeding down a runway cannot take a right-hand turn. Again, what happened?
Nightly news.
Nightly news, and it's not good news. When you're talking about the best case scenario is whatever you do goes viral. So let's say we got 100,000 people barreling down this runway. It's no different than a full jet landing on a runway. You cannot go and take them somewhere else. Nightly news, bad news. But so I took membership access. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I have membership, but I just want to sell that. I don't care what happens after that. Fine, put it on its own runway. That's not that you can absolutely do that. Put it on its own runway. Membership access, and then that's the end of the runway. Mm-hmm. I want to put high touch, and I don't want anything after it, which really kind of silly, but you can. I absolutely can take this and say, you know what, I'm going to copy this. I want it to be its own thing down here, and I don't care what happens next. Well, again, when we look at it visually, why wouldn't I put something after it? Why wouldn't I plan for where do I want you to go after this step? Mm-hmm. And when London comes up, which it does, London, over here. Okay, cool. Membership to high touch to, I don't know, maybe a high-end retreat in Bali. I don't know. London can be anything, and it's not dependent on the price point at all. It's entirely dependent on, I have this full 747, it's barreling down a runway, what is the order? Because if I'm going to build in Kajabi, if I'm going to take advantage of a platform that does what it does so incredibly well, I have to line those up because I got to line up email sequences. I got to use events. I got to use the right form. I got to use the right tag. I got to use the right offer. I got to use blah, 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 blah.
Right.
So does that make more sense?
So theoretically, in that membership to high touch to London, it would be you're on the plane, you're in coach, you get to high touch, you're still in coach, but then when you're in London, we'll move you up to first class. Yeah. You're still on the same plane. And you've already had all the benefits that you had when you were in first and coach.
Yep. It's made sense. The path that you took me on made sense.
Mm-hmm.
And you were moving me through it. Now with Kajabi, and once I have all these different you become O'Hare. So yep, I have these different runways. Just like in O'Hare, I come in on a United runway 27. But I'm going to leave out of Air France 22. I can switch the path that someone is on and tell them they're on a current, just picture a plane. And I don't know if they still do this, but they will tell you, hey, your connecting gate is, if you're going to Albuquerque, you're going to go to gate this. If you're going to here, you're going to gate that. That absolutely happens. That's the beauty with Kajabi is we become O'Hare one runway at a time so that we don't crash and make the nightly news. We just have, oh, look at that. 87 planes went through O'Hare today with nothing happened. And people's luggage got there on time and their favorite drink was served to them. And they got the seat with all the leg room and they had a clean pillow and they loved the stewardess. Like everything was great because I thought it through and I knew, okay, this is the path that I want 100,000 people to come through on. Absolutely. Because this takes a lot of work to build. Even using, the best tool in the box, it still takes work to build it. I thought about it, but as the business matures, you build you have new runways. You absolutely have new runways. I have an agency runway in terms of building for agency businesses, but I only take on one of those a year because of the scope of the project. So you stack them up, again, keeping them in alignment with, if it's not already built in Kajabi, which you guys are at you're just at such a sweet spot. It isn't built yet. I'm still doing it. Mm-hmm. Okay, what do I want if everything goes perfectly just the way that I want? Mm-hmm. That's what I build into Kajabi so that as time moves on, the stuff that I want is built in the home that I want. And as these other things phase out, I didn't waste any of my time trying to move them into a place that I was just going to be a victim from.
Right. That makes sense.
So you can set up your pathway whichever way you want to do it. And if you say, you know what, it really makes sense to have I know my high touch people, and I have this, so I'm going to build what I need to build in Kajabi to work with them, which may only be an offer. Like they may not need any access to content, or you might want to be building it like I'm putting it into a product that they can access if they need it. And yep, this is where the next 20 is coming from because I want to work with these people. These are the tools I'm using. This is what we do for you. This is the timeline. Perfect. Once this is meeting its metrics, you're like, yep, I like this, the way we've set it up. Then you can say, hey, we have this membership access so that people could come in here. They may end up at the high end over here. You can also have high touch people that you offer this to. They've already landed on the runway. There's a difference when I'm coming down the runway and I make a sharp turn, crash, bang, boom, nightly news. It's very different if I've already landed in New York City and you roll up the ladder next to the plane for me to walk off of the plane. I can do that because I already landed here. If this membership access makes sense for me and you open it up 6 months or a year later, you can always invite me to it. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to land the plane. I'm not trying to move the people through sequences and email and all of that. Mm-hmm. So we as pilots, we are the deciding factor. What is the sales funnel that I want and that I want to push the first 20,000 through, the first 100,000 through, build that. And then I can decide, okay, do I want to add another runway, or do I really like this runway and I want to put more traffic through to it?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, I'm all about O'Hare. If someone wants to be O'Hare, I am all about O'Hare. I'm also all about the high-end private airports that have few planes with very high rollers on them.
So part of the goal, which I'm kind of seeing now, is back here at the North Pole, is how am I marketing myself to be the subject expert that would want to attract them to go all the way through to what I have. Then once you're in and we're on the same wavelength as far as matching on our like I have certain terms that I'll take people in on, like I don't take everybody.
Right.
But I don't want to also at the same time appear snotty, like, well, I'm only taking you guys, and yet I'm leaving a population of potentially, in my market, children that still have problems. But I know that in all of our businesses, we're strategically trying to accomplish, in my opinion, the goal of what's setting me apart from another person that does exactly the same thing. And that why would somebody want to choose me over anybody else? And so where I need to do that in the North Pole.
Yeah, North Pole is where people are getting to know you. And then they say, hey, I like this. This is cool. Okay. What do I hand over my name? And like, how do I stay in touch with you? How do I connect with you in a different way? That's your opt-in. That's your front door to your home. Okay, cool. It can be as simple as give me your name and email and I'll keep you in the loop. Like, I don't have to give you something. I just need a way to communicate with you so that you can, again, using Kajabi, I can leverage. Kajabi will follow up with you because I can't begin to follow up with you. I can't scale. And I mean, it's why, businesses for years have done mass mailings.
Right.
I shopped at your store once and you mail me things every so often because you don't have the time to like pick up the phone. One, I'm not going to answer it because I won't know who's calling me. But that is where, when I'm thinking about, what is the opt-in?
What is the opt-in? How do you determine that?
You determine it a variety of things that I recommend. One, what do you like? Okay. What do you like to do? What are you good at providing? What allows you to show off? Because, and this I'll call it, the way that I teach it a lot is when I know what I want you to buy, I want you to buy membership access. That is what is for sale. After that is high touch. After that is first class over here. I know my runway. And so I know what you're going to be able to buy and when I'm going to let you buy it. I go into Costco pre-COVID. They have the key lime cheesecake sampling out. The cheesecake is what, 16 inches in diameter? The sucker is monstrous. The sample lady doesn't say, here, eat a cheesecake.
Nope.
Too much. She also doesn't say, hey, here's the cellophane. It's high quality. It's what we wrap all the cheesecakes in. I'm sure you're absolutely going to love it. Here, chomp, chomp. No. She takes a small piece of what she wants me to buy, which is the cheesecake. If I really like it, I could loop around and grab a second one, especially if they're busy on a Saturday.
Right.
Okay, I can loop around. I'm still not getting the whole cheesecake because that would be too much and make me sick. And I'm not getting the cellophane or the cardboard that the cheesecake is sitting on. So you have to look at, what am I selling?
Okay.
What is the best? What is my cheesecake sample? I don't care. I'm not giving them the whole darn thing because that's too much, overwhelming, would make them sick. I also, if I give them the cellophane, even though it's the exact cellophane that is part, I mean, when I buy the cheesecake, it comes in the cellophane.
Right.
But what's the first thing that I do with the said cellophane?
Throw it away.
Bingo. What?
Don't open your email.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Like, these are not, I'm always talking, to Chris and my kids. I'm like, these are not hard concepts. Find something in real life. It will tie to the thing that you are doing. I can, Kip gets this. He really could teach North Pole to New York City at this point in his life. Your lead magnet is your cheesecake sample. So for PBK, the pop-up group, these daily lives, that's my cheesecake sample. You guys have looped around the aisle 23 times.
We've been getting all kinds of samples.
Right. You can get, and I don't, I'm happy. The sample is like,
Oh, here she is again.
Here she is again. But at some point, the sample lady goes home. And you take the cheesecake home with you, or you come back when the cheesecake lady is back, the sample lady's back.
Right.
So for me, I know what PBK is. PBK is this. It is community. It is, I know my stuff inside and out when it comes to business, legal, or Kajabi. Done. I mean,
but when you first started, you didn't.
No, it's taken me 45 years to be where I am. It is the 45 years I have all the pieces fell into place. But for PBK, I don't want a 5-day challenge is stupid for me. There is nothing you're going to set up in Kajabi that's going to serve you long-term in business, legal, or Kajabi that you're going to accomplish in 5 days. There's not. I know it. I've seen it. It's not going to happen. So if I run a 5-day challenge, yes, it's short-term for me, but me as a person, I want people to do the steps. I want it to be done correctly. I want you to have what you came in to learn, the opportunity for success.
Right.
All I'm saying, for what I do, my lead magnet as a 5-day challenge, I am setting you up for failure and frustration, and I'm giving out a whole lot of cellophane. Because in PBK, I don't run 5-day challenges. You will not find one. You will not find anything that is,
but that works for some models, yes.
Absolutely. And that's why your lead magnet is your cheesecake.
Okay.
You can't know what your cheesecake is unless you know what your North Pole to New York City is.
Right.
Okay.
I feel like where I'm the weakest, honestly, in all of this is my North Pole. I know the lead magnet, what I like, what I can show off on, what I can deliver, and I have a really good product, and I'm successful in all of that part. Where I'm super weak is
like what to do to
all
talk
the
to
marketing,
the people.
and I hired somebody to do the marketing, and I feel like I almost have to tell them what to, the types of posts and that kind of thing, but I have to think it out based on, I'm kind of like, until I started working with,
what's your intro offer?
The sleep questionnaire.
Okay.
A screener for parents to take on their, oh, no, I'm sorry. That's my lead magnet.
Oh, okay.
Sleep question.
My intro offer is once they've taken that computerized questionnaire, they're going to get a copy of the results, and so am I. And for my intro, what I'm offering to them is to meet with me one-on-one for 30 minutes to discuss the results, to ultimately move them into my therapy session, which is my New York City.
Okay. Okay. And how much is the therapy session?
That is $835.
Okay. And the one-on-one?
$47.
Okay. So on what hits me immediately on this North Pole, you have busy parents. They're not likely reading a whole lot. They're busy. They're on their phone. They're not doing a lot. But here, the first thing that I'm going to do with you is answer questions about my kid. Every one of those questions could probably be 5, 10, 15, I don't know how many different talking points.
Right.
So here you are, topic-wise, you're highlighting exactly what's on this questionnaire.
Right, exactly.
Right.
That's what I came up with. And so it's, and I understand that concept. It's taking all of those and doing a podcast, doing a blog, doing a whatever. And it's like, honestly, I suck at that.
Mm-hmm.
And, or I kind of don't really want to do it, but I know I have to in order to attract. That being said, last week somebody did contact me from an Instagram post.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wish I would have had all this set up that I could have taken them through the process, but that didn't happen. And I'm not sure that I'll, have them go for it. Well, let's see. Yeah, they haven't taken the questionnaire yet.
So Instagram might be a great way to merge what you don't want to do, which is long content. Blogs are long content.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube is long content. Podcasts are long content. Instagram, every mother is on Instagram. Like, it's short, it's sweet. You can have, I can make a minute-long video and then I'm done. I can have Instagram stories. So Instagram is for you. That's where I would focus my attention, is on Instagram and having a variety of a post. Ask, questions, tell stories, pictures. I would say, really, for me as a mom, you'll have the moms that want everything to look like Pinterest perfect. And then you have the group that's like, really, girls? No, you cleaned up one corner of your house and the rest of it looks like a disaster. You will need to pick one of those camps to appeal to initially, because there is not a lot of crossover. Like, from a viewer standpoint, the people that want everything to be perfect won't look at pictures that aren't perfect. They'll just scroll. Those people that know this is only one corner of her home and one of the 500 pictures of her children where they weren't pulling each other's hair, they will keep scrolling. You have to pick a camp when you're initially starting until you get your group, because it's like the vaccinating crowd versus the non-vaccinators, the breastfeeders versus the bottle feeders, the cloth diapers versus the diapers. You try to walk in the middle, you ain't getting nobody.
Right.
So on Instagram, and there's plenty of people in both camps. Like, there are, but you'll miss them all if you try to be down the middle, because that's just how mom groups go. When you say, okay, this is what my posts are going to look like. They're either Pinterest perfect, in which case hire someone that can make it Pinterest perfect. I can give you the copy. I can tell you what needs to be communicated. You make it look like it needs to look, because those are the people I am initially focused on. Or you say, I want the group that wants to see a real picture.
Yeah, that's me.
Then you don't hire someone and you post this. I mean, it's still professional, but they're very, 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 very different.
Well, I mean, couldn't I hire somebody to do the, don't show me the pretty pictures? I mean, we just find the pictures that indicate or mimic the symptomology that would manifest for a child who has problems like bedwetting or temper tantrums or whatever. You
Yeah,
can
what I'm
still show
saying is
pictures like that.
whatever you pick, they are very different.
Right.
And I will private message you. I will show you the difference. I'll show you one, and you can compare hers to mine.
Okay.
We are both successful in what we do. We look entirely different, and we are very representative of when you're appealing to moms, which is where you're going to hit. You're not getting dads on Instagram. I mean, you're really not getting dads as a big enough group anywhere these days for what you're talking about. You on Instagram, your the content is, they're cloth diapers, paper, disposable, breastfeeding, bottle feeding.
Yep.
Sorry. I mean, it's the nature of the beast.
Right.
I could personally care less. Like, I just be a mom. Like, I don't care. Just be a mom. But I know I am in the minority on this. I'll look at both, one way or the other. But part of that is I run a business. I teach business. I do this. So I'm more desensitized or sensitized, whichever way you want to look at it. But if you're for sure, Instagram is where I would put you for North Pole. And then you show up there every day, whether it's a post or a story, or like you are showing up. Your Instagram profile, the link goes straight to that sleep questionnaire. You build which we'll do all this in PBK as we move through orientation, but you would build a landing page, or you can use Linktree, but a landing page on Kajabi is tied to your Facebook pixel, because once you're meeting your metrics, advertising is going to work well as a cold lead magnet for you, for sure. Because interrupting someone's Facebook feed with, bedwetting and snoring and this or that aligns with what Facebook wants. They want to thank you, COVID. There's all kinds of things that now intersect my feed. Because I've purchased so many things I never would have bought pre-COVID. But everything for you goes to the URL with the sleep questionnaire.
Right.
So yeah, you show up on Instagram, you do the Instagram dance, knowing you're going to get better the more you practice it, for sure.
Well, I have somebody now that I pay to put, media on all the, whatever 4 or 5 things. But so should I just not have him focus on like LinkedIn and blah, blah, blah? Just one.
One. Okay. Instagram. You go all in where your person is and where they're going to be receptive to the content. For me, it's YouTube. They type into Google Kajabi, it shows them a video on YouTube, they watch on YouTube, and I get a message, oh, I've been watching you for the last 6 hours. Awesome. Because what I do well, how I want to be able to show up, you can't write a blog post on this stuff.
Right.
Like, it's not going to work. It also doesn't work great on Instagram. What? Where Daddy is? The present? I don't have a present right now. Okay, go see Kip. I'll be off in just a minute. Do you want to come? Do you want to do the call with Mommy? I'll be done in go set the blue timer for Mommy and I'll be done. Can you go flip the blue timer over for me, please? Okay. I got 30 minutes, ladies. Blue timer.
Good one.
Yeah. Oh, we've used hourglass timers since Kip was a baby, because kids, they have no concept of time. And so I was like, oh, well, I'll just get a visual representation. So I have timers in different everything colors, from 1 minute to an hour, and they're all different colors.
Right.
And so they know they don't know what blue timer, I mean, they don't know it's 30 minutes, but Kip does now. But even Tad, who's clearly distraught and needs me to come help him with something. There's a hidden present somewhere. I can tell him, go get the blue timer and turn it over.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes a minute to process. Ote, got it. Yeah, that's right. Go get it. Go get it.
Because he knows you're coming at the end.
Right. So they know they can come get me.
Got to deliver.
When the timer's done, mom's out of here. But what were you guys asking?
Instagram. You were saying.
She was talking about Instagram.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just do one only, not
do
LinkedIn,
one.
Yes.
Facebook, and
one until you meet your metrics and your person.
Right.
See, so that person who knows this, like she actually knows this stuff, she's telling
You have to start with one.
Start with one North Pole in New York City, 1 year, I'll see you then. Like, you've got to give this stuff time to do it, and you've got to dominate.
Especially if you don't have anything, if you don't have a following already, then that's the best way to start.
Mm-hmm.
If you already have somewhat of a thing, there are some people that they just want to be seen on the other ones, but primarily where their audience is where they are for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they start to build up their numbers and all that, then they kind of spread out and start talking over here and over there.
Mm-hmm.
But the market will tell you where they are and where they
that's
see
what
you.
he's working on now is the metrics or the stats.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's consistency. I will tell you right now, you show up every day for a month in a row, you will have the metrics to play with. It is, I'm just now diving into the metrics on YouTube. I've been live every single day, except the day that I was sick, for a minimum of 1 hour. Oh, YouTube loves me right now. I've given it enough. I've given it enough to give me meaningful metrics.
Right.
If I had started off at the beginning of the month and been like, okay, well, let's play with this. Thankfully, my good friend, Holly Gillen, who's the YouTube, she's my go-to video gal. She's like, you haven't given it anything. What's it going to tell you? Hey, you haven't been here for 5 years. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I got that metric. Like, you've been here sporadically. So
that goes the same for ads, you guys.
Oh, yeah.
You can't just give it $5 and think that it's going to tell you what you, and Facebook will do marketing research for you if you give it enough time.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, you just say, you know what? This is my quiz. Here are the 60 things I can talk about on this quiz. And for the next 60 days, all I'm going to do is get on Instagram once a day. I'm posting, I'm doing a story. I'm just getting better while no one's watching me, which is also the case. You get better. Practice makes better.
More comfortable.
Yeah, especially when you're the one that's got to teach it and talk to people and do it. You just got to show up. And then after 60 days, then you've got something to look at. And then you can make decisions with people that can say, oh, I know how to read that data Greek. This worked well. This didn't work so well. So let's pour a little effort onto what looks like it worked well. And then let's check in again. Were we right? It's a constant test, evaluate, test, evaluate, test, evaluate. And there's no
It's no bullet.
No, wake up tomorrow morning 80 pounds thinner does not.
No, that's why it's called 30, 60, 90.
Yeah.
Because it takes at least that long to do it.
Absolutely. So that is for you. I doubt in my mind, I wouldn't even bother with
anything else right now. Nope.
And everything goes to that sleep questionnaire, and they can just take that, pile up, do everything that they want to do in there. I knew there was going to be a new. Speaking of everyone moving in, new platform, hey, let's do a new platform right as we're welcoming new people into people.
That sounds like a great idea. Let's just do it.
That won't require that won't require any new, links or anything.
Right.
And you're going to teach us about this new community thing that you discovered too, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. This is, like I said, I would have, which in fact, I just made a video this morning. People were wondering like, well, why didn't you use Kajabi community? Because
Kajabi has a community?
They do. But as of today, April 2020, it is not at the level that I need it to be at for what I already provide. Okay. I need the level of a Facebook-esque environment. However, I will no longer be on Facebook. No, thank you. They said, it's like you're trying to have a conversation in the middle of Times Square on New Year's Eve. I'm done with that. It's impossible. But Kajabi's community product, which is still in development, it's been released as a beta version. It just isn't dynamic enough for where my needs are, for where PBK is. So I had to find something else. And I've known about Mighty Networks. I was on it years and years ago. It too looks nothing like what it does now when it did. But thankfully, Coach Jenny and I had a conversation last Friday where we were griping about Facebook and what it was doing to us currently. And we said, we're done. She's like, well, here's Mighty Networks. I'm like, oh, I know them. She said, well, I'm in this other group and it's lovely. She said, I'm thinking. I go, okay, okay, here we go.
So this is for groups then. This is for community groups only.
Yeah, it is. Well, no, Mighty Networks could run your online courses.
I know, but no.
But
we have Kajabi for that.
Yes, so. I'm not. You can't pay me to move off Kajabi. There are a few people that are definitely using Kajabi with Mighty Networks. So,
as for the community feature.
For the engagement.
Just like we're going to learn how to do with you.
Yes. Yep,
okay.
Yep. Absolutely.
So that's what I wanted to know, because I didn't want to be adding in to learn another thing with courses and blah, 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 whatever.
No.
But I could put my membership with the access there. That could be on a Mighty Network instead of a Facebook group. And they could pay through the Mighty Network to be there and not bother with a Facebook group thing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
Unless you enjoy having to orchestrate and have intelligent, focused conversations in Times Square on New Year's Eve, if you enjoy that experience, by all means, stay on Facebook groups. If, however, that is not your idea of fun and not the environment you want to create in your ideal world, highly recommend at the moment Mighty Networks.
Okay.
Kajabi's is still in development and it just isn't, it's not ready. It's not ready. For what I needed, it's not ready. So that's why I'm not using it. Tracy, does that answer your questions?
Yes. This is helping me. Helping me.
So yeah, there's not.
So, and it's way easier to when somebody else tells you their thing and you can help them do it than it is to do it myself for some reason.
True.
So
true.
Like my daughter said, why don't you just be your own client? Like you're the client, like we're the client. And I'm like, I tried that a couple times and it didn't work out. So
no, it's tricky.
I have a question about when you, so after they opt in, they do what you want them to do. But before that, in the model that I'm setting up is that I created an offer. And so when they opt in, to take that,
I still have
I'm sending them to the checkout offer. They're giving me their name. They're creating their username and their password. And that's where I have a question about.
Okay, whoa, time back just a second.
Okay.
They're creating a username and password in Kajabi for the offer checkout?
Yes.
Okay. What do they need that for?
because I'm going to, in order for them to, well, this is the question that I have then.
Okay.
My thought is that I want to take them in order to get that questionnaire, to be able to start taking it, because that there's a link that goes to a third party for them to take it. But as they come in to get that, I wanted to set that up in a product. So while they're there, they have two choices. They can go right away, take that, or they can read more about that particular questionnaire, so they can see what that's all about. I have it broken down into age categories, just give them a little more information, and then they can take that questionnaire. But I guess what I'm doing is I'm trying to train them to come into the library, where I'll be adding more information specifically for parents.
Okay.
And then try to use that sidebar for more real estate eventually.
For your person, she's on Instagram. She found you. She clicked a link. She just wants to take a quiz. She does not want to go into a product and suddenly see a video more than a minute long. Like that. For where you found her on Instagram.
Right.
Cool. Oh, that looks really cool. Take my quiz, because that's your call to action. Take the quiz. Take the quiz. Okay, cool. I'm going to click through. Boom. That CTA, after I opt in, sends me to that third-party quiz. If that link is the same, like I'm just giving the same link to people, when I hit name, email, submit, you take me to that quiz. In your follow-up email sequences, after, I've opted in, I've taken the quiz, I get my results, you see the results, whatever that scenario is, give her the chance to, hey, you took your quiz, you've gotten your results by now. Here is the link to the offer checkout page to get age-appropriate information. Now she's going to come in because she's taken the quiz, she's gotten her results, she's ready for information. If you try to do too much too soon, you're gonna lose it. And mom,
it's the whole cheesecake.
Yep, it is. It is. You tried to shove the cheesecake down her throat. She's like, holy cow, all I wanted was a sample. Again, you're running away for the person that's like chasing you down with the cheesecake. No. But it's all about the timing.
Right.
Completely different than, use myself as an example. Here, you like it? Here's the offer checkout page. Go get the free resource library. In the free resource library are multiple cheesecakes. Choose whatever you want, wander around. That's what my person wants. Like my person wants to be like, ooh, I want to see all the things, because what I'm doing is like super cool. And look at that, there's a video for me. Your person needs a bit more time. I'm on Instagram. I click. I want an anonymity for taking my quiz. Yep, filled it out, answered my questions because my kid's sleeping and it's midnight and I can't get off social media. Cool. Oh, look at that. Now Elise sent me an email that says, you took the quiz. You've gotten your results. Here's a slice of cheesecake. Here's the free product. Would you like the slice? Gave you the sample. Would you just like a slice? Free product. That's how yours should move.
Right. I think I have a little glitch there that I probably need help with. When they come in and they want to take that questionnaire and I send them right to the direct, I can't actually send them directly right to that place where they take the questionnaire, because I have it set up on my website. When they go to that page that offers them the place to take the questionnaire, behind the scenes, they can take it for free. If I send them directly to the third party that anybody could go in and take it, they charge $12.50 to take it. So I bought a package from that company so that I had the option on my website, offer it for free or offer them to take it for $12.50.
Then just put the free wherever they can click to take it for free.
Right.
That's the only landing page they can see.
Right.
Yeah, send them to that page.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
But
That's
that
what
one-
my disconnect was.
Yep, but
So-
that's your page, and
And-
that is your home page on your website.
Okay. So, so then when they get the results, they're going to get an email from the third party,
Mhm.
and I'm going to get an email from the third party saying that they took it. Now, I'm trying to understand how to automate that in Kajabi once I've gotten the information, because there wouldn't necessarily be a link involved that says when they click on this and they've taken the, well, I guess there would be, right? There would be.
It doesn't matter if you get the results, because they have to book the call with you, or they have to click to get the offer that has the free product in it. So it doesn't matter you knowing that they got the results, because that's not driving any of the decision points. Because you're not going to reach out to them. They're going to keep moving through your welcome lead magnet sequence, which is, would you like the free product strategy? Would you like to look at this in the product? So you have what ends up being a 2-part, because you're using a third-party quiz. You have this little intermediary. Your free product lives in between you already have their name and email because they opted in, but they haven't paid any money yet.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a 2-step potential process.
Mm-hmm.
So in the emails, the welcome emails and the nurture welcome, you have 2 options for them. Choice 1, go get the free product for more information. That leads to the intro. I can book a one-on-one call. 2 is book your one-on-one call. There are people that don't want to go learn it. I just want to book the call and talk with somebody about my results. Both of those links are available in the email sequences that are going out. They can click on either one. And we can go through, like as we're going through all the orientation stuff with PBK, we will be methodically going through all of these different pieces, if it seems a little crazy right now.
Okay.
Because yeah, you're going to have an interim, because I sure wouldn't give her that free product strategy. Your conversions to me would tank right here.
Okay. I'm trying to get back to the screen. Somehow I logged myself out of it. Original fit to window. Here we go. I'm on the whiteboard for some reason.
Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, you have an in between.
Okay.
You have opt in, take the quiz, the email sequences start because I have entered the form. Now the links in the email are, would you like a slice? Here's get the free product. In the free product, I can book the one-on-one. I also have a link to just book the one-on-one. Cool, you got your results and you want to sign up for a 30-minute call? Perfect. Click here, pay me money, we're good to go.
And then they're in the intro program, and then that's my intro.
Yep, that's your intro right here.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So you just have a little
extra step
here, because if you give her that free product too soon when she's coming from Instagram to enter they're going to drop. I mean, it's not going to convert.
Got it. That makes sense. Yeah.
Won't convert.
Okay.
A few will convert, which gives you're like, oh, but I had a handful. Okay, but there's hundreds that are not converting. So we make it an intermediate, and then it will work much better.
And so how do I attach that? Is that going to be attached in a CTA I'm trying to.
In your email sequence,
mm-hmm.
You're going to just have links.
Oh, I see. Okay. That free product strategy intermediate is going to be linked in. I'll put a link in there to that product in the nurture welcome.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. You'll put the links in, you'll use automations, you'll track the whole thing.
Okay. I can't quite see the bottom of the board, but you'll send me that picture.
I will. And don't worry. I mean, we're going to go through
Okay.
all these steps are happening
Again?
in orientation. Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
it's why we have orientation is we've got to get everybody, one, what's the path that you actually want to build so that I can answer your questions
Gotcha.
on point, and making sure like we haven't dropped anything off. Like, oh, you're using an opt-in? Great. We also are going to need a privacy policy. So let's make sure we got that. So it's weaving in all the legal stuff too as we go. So at the end, like when we finish orientation, and not everybody does all the work all the time, which is fine. It's all grown-ups. I am not checking homework, never do, never intend to. You have the opportunity.
Wait, you're not checking our homework?
Good God, no. You have the opportunity to have your North Pole to New York City, one for sure is decided. Two, the definite opt-in, what they see first, and the email sequence associated with that. That part is totally nailed down. Depending on what people are building, some will have their products done, some won't, like, because everyone's building something different. But no, we methodically go through it. We make sure everything is, all the T's are crossed, all the I's are dotted. Yeah, that's why we have it, because without it, it is an unnecessary free-for-all. Silly. We got planes running everywhere.
Yeah.
And people trying to like, you're like, whoa, this air traffic controller is going to quit. Like, no, thank you.
Where's your little,
Oh, yeah, it's like this. I just pull the key out of the ignition. Nope, we're not flying. Where are you going? You have not submitted your flight plan. You do not have clearance to fly this plane. Yes. Oh, it is definite.
Right. And you give the keys.
And then I give them the keys. Then you can fly all over. People are like, I can't believe this was so easy, and I can't believe I made all this money. And I'm like, that's because we had one runway.
One way to go. Only one way. And then
we built a second and a third and a fourth and a fifth. And some people will only ever have one because that's all they want. And some people want 20. As long as you're building what you want, that's really all that matters when it comes to sales funnels.
Right.
Which is all these, I mean, that's all this is.
And there's hundreds of different ways to make a sales funnel. So
absolutely.
When what she was just teaching you, Elise, about Instagram and going to that's a funnel. You're funneling the people.
Right.
Yep.
But I have to figure out who is it that I'm trying to attract, because again, I don't want to work with everybody.
No,
I've been down that road.
And some people get hung up on that too. And they're like, they try to like, well, what about this person? Well, what about that person? Well, they're not your person.
Right.
Like you only want your people.
Yep.
You'll serve them way better if it's just the one audience that you're looking for.
So it's just trying to figure out in my mind, and maybe once I get, on my orientation, it's not going to seem so monstrous, but in my mind, it seems like trying to find that needle in the haystack, who my client is, and to portray that in my Instagram posts that's where, I need,
as long as you've worked with one person that you adored and you would like 1 million of that person, that's all you have to do.
Yep. Right. Just talk to her.
I know who my person is. I absolutely do. And I will clone them times 1 million. All I got to do is talk to her. Now, along the way, are there other people that like it? Absolutely, because they're close enough to her. Then there are people that they're just not gonna like me. I have a different philosophy. I operate differently. My good friend Shalon, she's like, you're not airbrushed. I'm like, no, there is no airbrushing going on. We have COVID hair. So guess what? It's a baseball cap these days, folks. My hair dryer broke. Like, I'm done. I'm done. Check me out. Baseball caps, here it comes. there's other people that are like, I can't go on social media. I can't do anything because,
I have to get ready.
Right. I don't have time for that. So there are people that are so far at the other extreme. They're too far away from my person. I hope I don't attract them because they're somebody else's person.
Right.
And they should be with that person.
Mm-hmm.
And so all you can create avatars. And if you want to write it all down, you can write it all down. And you can have a list of all the magazines she reads and all the things that she does. By all means. You also can be like, she looks just like my friend Jennifer.
Right.
I'm sitting down to write an email. What would I say to Jennifer? Done. Write it. Now, if I need a worksheet to create Jennifer's entire customer avatar before I can write her an email, by all means, fill out the worksheet. However, if you're trying to not like you have other things going on in your world and you can't complete the worksheet, it's okay because you know who she is.
Right.
I want her. Great. Just talk to her. Just talk to her or him or them, whatever it is.
Right.
It can be as fancy and formal as you ever want to make it. And it can be as simple as they look. My husband is my worst customer. Chris is my worst, but it is awesome. I am married to my worst customer. He's my best cheerleader, but he is my worst customer. So in getting stuff ready that I create, what I love, and I show him, honey, does this make sense? Could you open this and do it? I'm never going to open it. Okay. So my worst, you are like worse than my worst customer because they would actually open it. Could you look at this? Does this, like, could you follow these steps?
Right.
And if he says yes, then I know I'm good because he's the worst. I can plan for my worst case scenario because I just happen to be married to him.
Well, thank God for that.
when I'm marketing, you better believe I am not talking to anyone that looks or talks like Chris. Heck freaking no. I would go insane if I had to do business with him. Right. I'd be like, sit down, shut up, follow the instruction sheet. Right. I told you how to do this. So I talk to my best customer. I also make sure I'm accommodating in the best way that I can because there's going to be people that fall outside of my person. Right. Yes. But there's no magic pixie dust. I mean, there's no and I, like, oh, but I got to take that course. Do you know who you, like, have you had a person that you loved working for before or working with? Oh yeah. I go, okay, there, you just saved yourself $2,000. You're welcome. You don't need the course. You just told me. Person. Right. You just told me. There you go. That's
okay. Since we're gonna do this again, then I'll ask I was wondering about a quiz in between and some other things, but I'll write them down.
We will go through every piece methodically. And I always, you guys, which will be coming out once the cart closes tomorrow at noon, like once everybody that's in is going to be in, then I give you, like, you'll know, hey, we're flying to New York City. Like, this is our destination. However, I also know if I give every little detail at the beginning, people, like, you ask questions about something that's going to happen in 6 weeks. So you get exactly what you need when you need it. Think of it as fine dining. And I know, hey, we're going to give you the salad. And then we're going to give you the soup. And then we're going to give you the main course. But I'm not going to give you so much that you're too full when it comes to dessert. Like, but yes, we go through.
Yeah, because we want our cheesecake.
Oh, gosh. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. I'm trying to fly a plane with all you creatives who are just like me and still get us all to get us to destinations. Oh, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, but it's very fun. We have a lot of fun doing it. But
so what did you say? It closes tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow at noon
Tomorrow
Eastern.
at noon.
Mhm.
No
Tomorrow
OTO. No OTO.
No. There is, well, my heart goes out to any sob story that comes in after noon Eastern. There are 0 exceptions. I will see you in September. That is the next time we open. There is, barring Kajabi, literally Kenny calling me and saying, Tamsin, we're so sorry. The entire Kajabi world crashed this morning. That's
because that's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen. So barring that happening, no, I will see you in September. So yes. And I think the last, I know it does. The last email goes out at 4 hours before the cart closes. So.
And I was confused about, can I ask you on this or you want me to wait till you're off?
No, you're good.
You said something about, because if we go in on one link, we get the 28 days and we get 3 months.
Yeah, if you don't have Kajabi yet.
I haven't done it yet.
Yep.
I was waiting for now.
You need to use the affiliate link. So click on the affiliate link. That will take you to Kajabi so that you can get your 28-day free trial. They email me that says, hey, Tamsin, this person, has used your affiliate link. I will send you the offer checkout page for people that bought with my affiliate link because you get 3 months of PBK free.
Okay, so I have to do it a different way.
Yeah, so you want to click, and I think there's, I don't know, I think 4 or 5 people, no, 6. 6 people have done the affiliate route. So
is this in my emails? I'm looking at them right now, so I'm trying to decide where I'm.
I'll just send you to the page. It's in the chat.
Okay,
it's
that's cool.
tamsinhorton.com/PBK. And the button is very clear. It says if you don't have Kajabi, you can use that button.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep,
so I'll be sure to know what button.
Yeah, click that button, and then I will send you
the link that I need.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's a different process if you come in as an affiliate.
The other way. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well,
thank you
guys
so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. Tad is going to be in here any minute, so
because it looks like it's almost time.
Yep, Blue Timer's going to be done.